Γεια σας, είμαι ο Γιάννης Κώτσης και απόψε θα σας παρουσιάσω από τη φιλόξενη συχνότητα του Αμβρακία 919 FM Stereo μια εκπομπή για έναν Αμερικάνο φίλο, τον Phil Ochs.
In many a time, in many a land, with many a gun in many a hand, they came by the night, they came by the day, came with their guns to take us away. With a knock on the door, knock on the door, here they come to take one more, one more. Back in the days of the Roman Empire, they died by the cross and they died by the fire. In the stone Colosseum, the crowd gave a roar, and it all began with that knock on the door. Just a knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. The years have all passed, we've reached modern times. The Nazis have come with their Nazi war crimes. Yes, the power was there, the power was found. 6 million people have heard that same sound. That old knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Now there's many new words and many new names. The banners have changed, but the knock is the same. On the Soviet shores, with right on their side, I wonder who knows how many have died with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Look over the oceans, look over the lands, look over the leaders with the blood on their hands, and open your eyes and see what they do. When they knock over their friend, they're knocking for you with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more.
Το Knock on the Door που ακούσαμε είναι ένα τραγούδι του Phil Ochs από το δίσκο του All the News That's Fit to Sing που κυκλοφόρησε το 1963 από την Electra. Κιθάρες παίζουν ο Phil Ochs και ο Danny Kalb. Σύνθεση και στίχη και ερμηνεία από τον Phil Ochs. Ο Ochs υπήρξε ένας ασυμβίβαστος Αμερικάνος τραγουδοποιός με πολιτική θέση και ξεκάθαρη στάση μέσα στο φιλιρινικό και αντιπολεμικό κίνημα της δεκαετίας του 60. Πολύ πιο δεικτικός και σαφής στους στίχους του, σε αντίθεση με άλλους συναδέλφους του, συνήθιζε να αναφέρει συγκεκριμένα ονόματα και να καταγγέλει καταστάσεις χωρίς μισόλογα.
At the end of the early British War, a young land started growing, the young blood started flowing, but I ain't marching anymore. For I killed a share of engines in 1,000 different fights. I was there at the Little Big War. I saw many men lying, I saw many more dying, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old to lead us to the war, always the young to fall. Now look at all we've won with the saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I stole California from the Mexican land, fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brothers and so many others. in a war that was bound to end all wars. Oh, I must have killed 1,000,000 men, and now they want me back again, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old to lead us to the war, always the young to fall. Now look at all we've won with a saber and a gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I flew the final mission in the Japanese skies, set off the mighty mushroom roar. When I saw the cities burning, I knew that I was learning that I ain't marching anymore. Now the labor leaders screaming when they close the missile plant. United Fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or call it treason, call it love or call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore.
Το I Ain't Marching Anymore περιλαμβάνεται στον ομώνυμο δίσκο που κυκλοφόρησε από την Electra το 1965. Σύνθεση κιθάρα ερμηνεία από το Phil Ochs. Ο Ochs μιλούσε ξεκάθαρα για Βιετκόγκ, για τον Νίξον, για την επέμβαση στον Άγιο Δομήνικο, το Βιετνάμ. Μιλούσε ενάντια στις παρελάσεις, ενάντια στο στρατό, σε αντίθεση με τον φίλο του Bob Dylan που μίλαγε γενικά για ειρήνη, για Make Love Not War. Ο Ochs συμμετείχε σε πάρα πολλές συναυλίες διαμαρτυρίας και αντιπολεμικές διαδηλώσεις. Έτσι, απόκτησε φάκελο 500 σελίδων στο FBI και ήταν γραμμένος στις μαύρες λίστες της Ku Klux Klan. Το Mississippi που ακούσαμε περιλαμβάνεται στο άλμπουμ I Ain't Marching Anymore και αναφέρεται στους μαύρους του Mississippi και τη ζωή τους. Ο Ochs πραγματοποίησε πολλές συναυλίες στο εξωτερικό. Στον Dar es Salaam το 1972, ληστές τον στραγγάλισαν και του κατέστρεψαν τις φωνητικές του χορδές. Δεν μπόρεσε να ξανατραγουδήσει ποτέ όπως αυτός θα ήθελε. Έπεσε λοιπόν σε κατάθλιψη και στις 9 Απρίλη του 1976, σε ηλικία 35 χρονών, αυτοκτόνησε.
An outspoken group on many subjects. 10 degrees to the left of center in good times. 10 degrees to the right of center if it affects them personally. So here then is a lesson in safe logic. I cried when they shot Medgar Evers. Tears ran down my spine. And I cried when they shot Mr. Kennedy, as though I'd lost a father of mine. But Malcolm X got what was coming. He got what he asked for this time. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Get it? I go to civil rights rallies and I put down the old DAR. DAR, that's the dykes of the American Revolution. I love Harry and Sidney and Sammy. I hope every colored boy becomes a star. But don't talk about revolution. That's going a little bit too far. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I cheered when Humphrey was chosen, my faith in the system restored. And I'm glad that the commies were thrown out from the AFL-CIO board. And I love Puerto Ricans and Negroes, as long as they don't move next door. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Ah, the people of old Mississippi should all hang their heads in shame. Now I can't understand how their minds work. What's the matter, don't they watch Les Crane? But if you ask me to bus my children, I hope the cops take down your name. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Yes, I read New Republic and Nation. I've learned to take every view. You know, I've memorized Lerner and Golden. I feel like I'm almost a Jew. But when it comes to times like Korea, there's no one more red, white, and blue. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. I vote for the Democratic Party. They want the UN to be strong. I attend all the Pete Seeger concerts. He sure gets me singing those songs. And I'll send all the money you ask for, but don't ask me to come on along. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal. Sure, once I was young and impulsive, I wore every conceivable pin, even went to socialist meetings, learned all the old Union hymns. But I've grown older and wiser, and that's why I'm turning you in. So love me, love me, love me, I'm a liberal.
Το Love Me, I Am a Liberta, το τραγούδι που ακούσαμε από ζωντανή ηχογράφηση από το LP They're Bad for Fortune, που κυκλοφόρησε το 1966 και αυτό από την Ηλέκτρα, είναι σύνθεση, τύχη μουσική και κιθάρες και τραγούδια από τον Ochs. Το όνομά του ήταν Philip David Ochs, γεννήθηκε στις 19 Δεκέμβρη του 1940 στο Ελπάσο του Τέξας και επιρροές του Ochs ήταν ο Woody Guthrie, ο Pete Singer, ο Buddy Holly, ο Elvis Presley, ο Bob Gibson, ο Faron Young και η Merle Haggard.
Circle-studded sky. The stars settle slowly in loneliness they lie, till the universe explodes as a falling star is raised. Planets are paralyzed, mountains are amazed, but they all glow brighter from the brilliance of the blaze. With the speed of insanity then he dies. In the green fields a turning, baby is born. His cries grease the wind and mingle with the morn. An assault upon the order, the changing of the guard, chosen for a challenge that is hopelessly hard. And the only single sign is the sighing of the stars, but to the silence of distance they are sworn. So dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. Images of innocence charging to go on, but the decadent's destiny is looking for a pawn. To a nightmare of knowledge he opens up the gate. Blinding revelation is laid upon his plate, that beneath the greatest love is a hurricane of hate, and God help the critic of the dawn. So he stands on the sea and he shouts to the shore, but the louder that he screams, the longer he's ignored. For the wine of oblivion is drunk to the dregs, and the merchants of the masses almost have to be begged. Till the giant is aware someone's pulling at his leg, and someone is tapping at the door. To dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. Then his message gathers meaning and it spreads across the land. The rewarding of his fame is the following of the man. But ignorance is everywhere and people have their way. Success is an enemy to the losers of the day. In the shadows of the churches, who knows what they pray? For blood is the language of the band. The Spanish bulls are beaten, the crowd is soon begun. The matador is beautiful, a symphony of style. Excitement is ecstatic, passion places best. Gracefully bows to ovations that he gets. But the hands that are applauding are slippery with sweat, and saliva is falling from their smile. So dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. Then this overflow of life is crushed into a liar. The gentle soul is ripped apart, tossed into the fire. First a smile of rejection at the nearness of the night. Truth becomes a tragedy, limping from the light. All the heavens are horrified, they stagger from the side, as the cross is trembling with desire. They say they can't believe it, it's a sacrilegious shame. Now who would want to hurt such a hero of the game? But you know, I predicted it, I knew he had to fall. How did it happen? Oh, his suffering was small. Tell me every detail, for I've got to know it all. And do you have a picture of pain? So dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. Time makes a hope, memory fades, but his glory is grown in the magic that he made. Reality is ruined, it's the freeing from the fear. Drama is distorted, what they want to hear. Swimming in their sorrow in the twisting of a tear, as they wait for the new thrill parade. Yes, the eyes of the rebel have been branded by the blind. To the safety of sterility, the threat has been refined. The child was created to the slaughterhouse he's led. So good to be alive when the eulogies are read. Climax of emotion, the worship of the dead, as the cycle of sacrifice unwinds. So dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. And the night comes again to the circle-studded sky. The stars settle slowly in loneliness they lie. till the universe explodes as the falling stars rage. Planets are paralyzed, mountains are amazed, but they all glow brighter from the brilliance of the blaze. With the speed of insanity, then he dies.
Από το άλμπουμ Pleasures of the Harbor που κυκλοφόρησε από την AM Records στις 31 Οκτώβρη 1967, ακούσαμε το Crucifixion. Ο Ochs έζησε τα εφηβικά του χρόνια στη Νέα Υόρκη, στο Far Rockaway, στη συνέχεια στο Perrysburg, όπου σπούδασε για πρώτη φορά μουσική, και μετά στο Columbus του Οχάιο. Η οικογένεια του Ochs ήταν εβραϊκή, αλλά όχι θρησκευόμενη. Είχε ακόμα δύο αδέρφια, τη μεγαλύτερη Σόνια, που γεννήθηκε το 1937, και ένα πιο μικρό αδερφό, τον Μίκαελ, που γεννήθηκε το 1943. Ο πατέρας του, γιατρός στο επάγγελμα, νοσηλεύονταν χρόνια από κατάθλιψη και πέθανε στις 30 Απρίλη του 1963 από εγκεφαλική αιμορραγία. Η μητέρα του πέθανε στις 9 Μάρτη του 1994.
Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. All her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. From Colorado, Kansas, and the Carolinas too, Virginia and Alaska, from the old to the new, Texas and Ohio and the California shore. Tell me who could ask for more? Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. All her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. Yet she's only as rich as the poorest of the poor, only as free as a padlocked prison door, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. For here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. All her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. All her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all, on us all.
Από το LP All the News That's Fit to Sing ακούσαμε και το Power the Glory που κυκλοφόρησε το 1964 και αυτό από την Ηλέκτρα. Η στίχη, μουσική και ερμήνεια είναι του Ochs. Κιθάρες ο Danny Kalb και ο Phil Ochs. Ως έφηβος αναγνωρίστηκε σαν ιδιαίτερος εκτελεστής του κλαρίνου. Έπαιζε το όργανο με την ορχήστρα στο οδείο μουσικής του Capital University στο Οχάιο και έγινε ο κύριος σολίστας σε ηλικία 16 ετών. Αν και έπαιζε βασικά κλασική μουσική, σύντομα άρχισε να ενδιαφέρεται και για τους ήχους που άκουγε στο ραδιόφωνο, τους rock stars της εποχής, τον Buddy Holly, τον Elvis Presley και καλλιτέχνες της country όπως ο Farron Young, ο Ernest Tubb, ο Hank Williams και ο Johnny Cash.
It was just a little while ago I glued my ears to the radio. The announcer was saying we better beware, a crisis was hanging way up in the air. Crawling on the ground, swimming in the sea, heading for me. Well, I didn't know if I was for or against it, he was yelling and screaming a mile a minute. Well, he said, here comes the president, but first this word from Pepsodent. have whiter teeth, have cleaner breath when you're facing nuclear death. And then President John began to speak, and I knew right away he wouldn't be weak. Well, he said he'd seen some missile bases and terrible smiles on Cuban faces, close pictures, carrying land reform too far, giving land to the USSR. Well, he said we mustn't be afraid, we're setting up a little blockade. Put our ships along the Cuban shores, and if the Russian bear yells and roars, we'll let him have it. From Turkey and Greece, Formosa and Spain, the peaceful West European plain, from Alaska and Greenland we'll use our means and 20,000 submarines. We're gonna teach the Russians a lesson for trying to upset the balance of power. Now most Americans stood behind the president and his military minds, but me, I stood behind a bar, dreaming of a spaceship getaway car. Head for Mars, any other planet that has bars, like Gertie's Folk City. Yes, it seemed the stand was strong and plain, but some Republicans was a-going insane, and they still are. Well, they said our plan was just too mild, spare the rod and spoil the child. Let's sink Cuba into the sea and give them back democracy under the water. Well, the deadline was set for 10 o'clock. For a Cold War it was getting hot. Well, the Russians tried, the Russians failed. Homeward bound those missiles sailed. Mr. Khrushchev said, better red than dead.
Το Talking Cuban Crisis περιλαμβάνεται στο άλμπουμ του 1964 με γενικό τίτλο All the News That's Fit to Sing, που κυκλοφόρησε από την Electra. Στίχους και μουσική και ερμηνεία από τον φίλο Ochs. Κιθάρες παίζουν ο ίδιος και ο Danny Kolb. Ο Ochs από το 1956 έως το 1958 ήταν φοιτητής στη στρατιωτική ακαδημία Staunton της Βιρτζίνια και όταν απεφοίτησε γύρισε στο Columbus και γράφτηκε στο State University του Ohio. Απογοητευμένος μετά το πρώτο τρίμηνο, πήρε άδεια και πήγε στη Φλόριντα. Ενώ βρισκόταν στο Μαϊάμι, ο 18χρονος Φιλ φυλακίστηκε για 2 εβδομάδες επειδή κοιμόταν σε ένα παγκάκι. Όταν ξαναγύρισε στο Οχάιο, αποφάσισε να σπουδάσει τη δημοσιογραφία, γιατί πλέον τον ενδιέφερε η πολιτική, με ιδιαίτερα ενδιαφέροντά του στην Κουβανική Επανάσταση του 1959.
Show me a prison, show me a jail, show me a prison man whose face is growing pale, and I'll show you a young man with many reasons why, and there but for fortune may go you alright. Show me an alley, show me a train, show me a hobo who sleeps out in the rain, and I'll show you a young man with many reasons why, and there but for fortune may go you alright. Show me the whiskey stains on the floor, show me a drunken man as he stumbles out the door, and I'll show you a young man with many reasons why, and there but for fortune may go you alright. Show me the country where the bombs had to fall,
Show me the ruins of the buildings once so tall, and I'll show you a young land with so many reasons why. And there but for fortune may go you or I.
Το There But For Fortune που ακούσαμε είναι από το ομώνυμο live album του Ochs που ηχογραφήθηκε το 1966. Κιθάρες, ερμηνεία, στίχους και μουσική γράφει ο ίδιος. Στο Οχάιο, ο Φιλ θα γνωρίσει τον Jim Glover, έναν συμφοιτητή του που ήταν λάτρης της λαϊκής folk μουσικής. Ο Glover θα μοιήσει στον Ochs στη μουσική του Pete Singer και του Woody Guthrie και των Weavers. Του έμαθε κιθάρα και μιλούσαν με τις ώρες για πολιτική. Ο Ochs άρχισε να γράφει άρθρα σε εφημερίδες με ριζοσπαστικά θέματα. Όταν η δυτική εφημερίδα του Πανεπιστημίου του αρνήθηκε να δημοσιεύσει, τόσο θα φτιάξει η δική του underground εφημερίδα με την ονομασία The World. Καθώς επίσης έγραφε και για το σατυρικό περιοδικό The Sun Dial με τον συμμαθητή του R.L. Sting. Έτσι, πολιτική και μουσική σύντομα θα συγχωνευτούν και ο Ochs θα αρχίσει να γράφει επίκαιρα πολιτικά τραγούδια.
Found in the magazines, and it seems that there are no more songs. Once I knew a sage who sang upon the stage. He told about the world, his lover, a ghost without a name, stands ragged in the rain. And it seems that there are no more songs. The rebels, they were here, they came beside the door. They told me that the moon was bleeding. That there are no more songs. A scar is in the sky, it's time to say goodbye. A whale is on the beach, he's dying. A white flag in my hand and a white boat in the sand. And it seems that there are no song. Hello, 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 is there anybody home? I've only called to say I'm sorry. The drums are in the dawn and all the voices gone, and it seems that there are no more songs. It seems that there are no more songs. It seems that there are no more songs.
Το No More Songs ηχογραφείται ζωντανά με τον Phil Ochs και τον γκουρού του Bob Gibson. Υπάρχει στο δίσκο The Devil Draws to the Line από τη συναυλία του στο Σικάγο το 1974. Το τραγούδι φυσικά πρωτοκυκλοφόρησε στο LP Greatest Hits του 1970. Ο Ochs θα γίνει σύμβολο για την αμερικάνικη γενιά των 60s και 70s. Θα γυριστούν 4 ταινίες με θέμα τη ζωή και τα τραγούδια του, αλλά μετά το θάνατό του.
She comes from Kansas City in the middle of the land. She was the queen of the game, but love never came with a man, with a man. Now all they know is her name. She's the Kansas City bomber. Let her roll, let her roll, let her fly through the fury of the rain. The bomber takes the floor. She turns, she spins on the rail, but she'll be the first one to score. Watch her score, and the boys light up as she sails. She's the Kansas City bomber. Let her roll, let her roll, let her fly through the fury of the rain. The cry of the crowd is the keeper of her soul. You can see it by the red on her face, on her face. She's gonna leave tomorrow, she's never coming back. But tomorrow is only a day. Now she is trapped on the track, on the track. And God help the lady in her way. She's the Kansas City bomber. Let her roll, let her roll, let her fly through the fury of the race, of the race. Cry of the crowd is the keeper of her soul. You can see by the race on her face, on her face, on her face.
Το Kansas City Bomber που ακούσαμε γράφτηκε το 1972 για την ομώνυμη ταινία. Δεν χρησιμοποιήθηκε ποτέ στο soundtrack της ταινίας. Κυκλοφόρησε σαν single και αργότερα το 1973 θα συμπεριληφθεί στο LP The War is Over, The Best of Phil Ochs, που κυκλοφόρησε από την A&M Records.
In the state of Mississippi, many years ago, a boy of 14 years got a taste of Southern law. He saw his friend a-hangin', his color was his crime, and the blood upon his jacket put a brand upon his mind. Too many martyrs and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. His name was Medgar Evers, and he walked his road alone, like Emmett Till and thousands more whose names we'll never know. They tried to burn his home and they beat him to the ground, but deep inside they both knew what it took to bring him down. Too many martyrs and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. The killer waited by his home, hidden by the night, as Evers stepped out from his car into the rifle sight. He slowly squeezed the trigger, the bullet left his side. It struck the heart of every man when Evers fell and died. Too many martyrs and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. And they laid him in his grave while the bugle sounded clear. Laid him in his grave when the victory was near. While we waited for the future, for freedom through the land, the country gained a killer and the country lost a man. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. Oh, let it never be again.
Ένα εμβληματικό τραγούδι γραμμένο από τον Bob Gibbon και τον Phil Ochs είναι και το Too Many Martyrs, που θα ηχογραφηθεί το 1964 και υπάρχει στο LP All the News That Fit to Sing. Το 1962 ο Ochs θα φτιάξει μαζί με τον Glover ένα ντουέτο που το ονόμασαν The Singing Socialists και αργότερα The Sandow Nurse, αλλά διαλύθηκαν χωρίς καμιά εμφάνιση και ο Glover πήγε στη Νέα Υόρκη για να γίνει folk singer. Θα τον ακολουθήσει λίγο αργότερα και ο Phil Ochs.
Let's drink a toast to the Admiral, and here's to the Captain bold, and glory more for the Commodore when the deeds of might are told. They stand to the deck through the battle's wreck when the great shells roar and pound, and never they fear when the foe is near to lay their orders down. But off with your hats and 3 times 3 for every sailor's son, for the men below who fight the foe, the men behind the guns. Oh, the men behind the guns. Their hearts are pounding heavy when they swing to port once more. With never enough of the greenback stuff, they start for the leave ashore. And you'd think perhaps the blue blouse chaps had better clothes to wear, for the uniforms of officers could hardly be compared. Warriors bold with straps of gold that dazzle like the sun, outshine the common sailor boys, the lads who serve the guns. Oh, the men behind the guns. But say not a word till the shot is heard that tells the fight is on, and the angry sound of another round says they must be gone. Over the deep and the deadly sweep of the fire and the bursting shell, where the very air is a mad despair, the throes of a living hell. But down and deep in a mighty ship unseen by the midday sun, oh, you find the boys who make the noise, the lads who serve the guns. Oh, the men behind the guns. And well they know the cyclone blow loosed from the cannon steel, and they know the hull of the enemy ship will quiver with the feel, and the decks will rock with a lightning shock and shake with a great recoil, while the sea grows red with the blood of the dead and swallows up her spoil. But not until the final ship has made her final run can we give the rest to the very best, the lads who serve the guns. Oh, the men behind the guns. So let's drink a toast to the Admiral, and here's to the Captain bold, and glory more for the Commodore when the deeds of might are told. They stand to the deck through the battle's wreck when the great shells roar and pound, and never they fear when the foe is near to lay their orders down. But off with your hats and 3 times 3 for every sailor's son, for the men below who fight the foe, the men behind the guns. Oh, the men behind the guns.
Το The Men Behind the Guns υπάρχει στο άλμπουμ I Ain't Marching Anymore, που κυκλοφόρησε το 1966. Στίχους, μουσική, ερμηνεία, κιθάρα, ο Phil Ochs. Φτάνοντας στη Νέα Υόρκη το 1962, ο Ochs αρχίσει να παίζει σε μικρά μαγαζιά λαϊκών συνοικιών. Έγινε ένας άψογος, παθιασμένος τραγουδιστής, γράφοντας αιχμηρός στίχο για τα τραγούδια του. Τον απασχολούσαν όλα τα κοινωνικά θέματα που βασάνιζαν εκείνη την εποχή το λαό των ΗΠΑ, όπως πόλεμος στο Βιετνάμ κυρίως, πολιτικά δικαιώματα μαύρων, έγχρωμων και λευκών, εργατικά δικαιώματα και άλλα θέματα. Αν και τον κατέταξαν σαν μουσικό που γράφει τραγούδια διαμαρτυρίας, ο ίδιος προτιμούσε τον όρο λαϊκά τοπικά τραγούδια.
Here's to the state of Richard Nixon. For underneath his borders, the devil draws no line. If you drag his muddy rivers, nameless bodies you will find. And the fat trees of the forest have hid 1,000 crimes. And the calendar's lying when it reads the present time. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Richard Nixon, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the schools of Richard Nixon, where they're teaching all the children that they don't have to care. All the rudiments of hatred are present everywhere, and every single classroom is a factory of despair. Oh, there's nobody learning such a foreign word as fair. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Richard Nixon, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the laws of Richard Nixon, where the wars are fought in secret, Pearl Harbor every day. He punishes with income tax that he don't have to pay, and he's tapping his own brother just to hear what he would say. Corruption can be classic in the Richard Nixon way. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Richard Nixon, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the churches of Richard Nixon and Billy Graham, where the cross once made of silver now is caked with rust, and the Sunday morning sermons pander to their lust. All the fallen face of Jesus is choking in the dust, and heaven only knows in which God they can trust. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Richard Nixon, find yourself another country to be part of. And here's to the government of Richard Nixon. In the swamp of their bureaucracy, they're always bogging down, and criminals are posing as advisors to the crown. And they hope that no one sees the sights and no one hears the sound. And the speeches of the president are the ravings of a clown. Oh, here's to the land you've torn out the heart of. Richard Nixon, find yourself another country to be part of.
Κυκλοφόρησε σαν 45 από την ADM Records το 1974. Στην άλλη πλευρά υπάρχει το Power the Glory, το Here to State of Richard Nixon που ακούσαμε λίγο πριν. Μέχρι τα μέσα, το 1963, το καλοκαίρι, ο Ochs θα είναι αρκετά γνωστός στους λαϊκούς κύκλους των μουσικών και θα τον καλέσουν να τραγουδήσει στο Folk Festival του Newport. Εκεί θα ερμηνεύσει τα Too Many Martyrs, Talking Birmingham Jam και Power the Glory. Το 1964, στο ίδιο φεστιβάλ, ο Ochs θα γίνει δεκτός με ενθουσιασμό και θα τραγουδήσει το draft Dodger Rag που ακούμε αμέσως.
Oh, I'm just a typical American boy from a typical American town. I believe in God and Senator Dodd and I keep an old Castro down. And when it came my time to serve, I knew better dead than red. But when I got to my old draft board, buddy, this is what I said. Sarge, I'm only 18, I got a ruptured spleen and I always carry a purse. I've got eyes like a bat and my feet are flat and my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm a-going to school and I'm a-working in a defense plant. I got a dislocated disc and a racked up back, I'm allergic to flowers and bugs. And when the bombshell hits, I get epileptic fits and I'm addicted to 1,000 drugs. I got the weakness woes, I can't touch my toes, I can hardly reach my knees. And if the enemy came close to me, oh, I'd probably start to sneeze. I'm only 18, got a ruptured spleen, and I always carry a purse. I've got eyes like a bat, and my feet are flat, and my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt.
Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm a-going to school and I'm a-working in a defense plant. Ooh, I hate showing lie, and I hope he dies. But one thing you gotta see, that someone's gotta go over there, and that someone isn't me. So I wish you well, Sarge, give him hell. Kill me 1,000 or so, and if you ever get a war without blood and gore, I'll be the first to go. Yes, I'm only 18, I got a ruptured spleen, and I always carry a purse. I've got eyes like a bat, and my feet are flat, and my asthma's getting worse. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm a-going to school and I'm working in a defense plant.
Το 1965 δεν θα εμφανιστεί στο φεστιβάλ του Νιούπορτ. Όμως ο ίδιος θα κυκλοφορήσει το Talking Vietnam Blues, που ήταν το πρώτο τραγούδι διαμαρτυρίας που μιλούσε ονομαστικά για τον πόλεμο στο Βιετνάμ. Ας το ακούσουμε.
Sailing over to Vietnam, Southeast Asian Birmingham. Well, training is the word we use, nice word to have in case we lose. Training 1 million Vietnamese to fight for the wrong government and the American way. Well, they put me in a barracks house just across the way from Laos. They said you're pretty safe when the troops deploy, but don't turn your back in your house, boy. When they ring the gong, watch out for the Viet Cong. Well, the sergeant said it's time to train, so I climbed aboard my helicopter plane. We flew above the battleground, a sniper tried to shoot us down. He must have forgot we're only trainees. Them commies never fight fair. Friends, the very next day we trained some more. We burned some villages down to the floor. Yes, we burned out the jungles far and wide, made sure those red apes had no place left to hide. Threw all the people in relocation camps under lock and key, made damn sure they're free. Well, I walked through the jungle around the bend. Who should I meet but the ghost of President Diem? Said you're fighting to keep Vietnam free for good old Diem-ocracy. That means rule by one family and 15,000 American troops, give or take a few thousand American troops. He said I was a fine old Christian man ruling this backward Buddhist land. Well, it ain't much, but what the heck, it sure beats hell at a Chiang Kai-shek. I'm the power elite, me and the 7th Fleet. He said meet my sister, Madam New, the sweetheart of Dien Bien Phu. He said meet my brothers, meet my aunts, with a government that doesn't take a chance. Families that slay together, stay together. Said if you want to stay, well, you have to pay over $1 million a day. But it's worth it all, now don't you see? If you lose the country, you still have me. Me and Sigmund Rhee, Chiang Kai-shek, Madam New. Like I said on Meet the Press, I regret that I have but one country to give for my life. Well, now old DM is gone and dead. All the new leaders are anti-red. Yes, they're pro-American freedom sensations against Red China and the United Nations. Now all the news commentators and the CIA are saying, thank God for coincidence.
Ο Ochs θα κυκλοφορήσει με την εταιρεία Elektra Records τα 3 πρώτα του LP. Το All the News That Fit to Sing του 64, I Ain't Marching Anymore του 65 και Phil Ochs in Concert του 66. Σε όλους αυτούς τους δίσκους, ο Ochs συνοδεύει τα τραγούδια του μόνο με την ακουστική του κιθάρα. Τα περισσότερα είναι γραμμένα σε δικούς του στίχους. Εκτός από το The Highwayman, ποίηση του Alfred Noyes και The Bells, ποίημα του Edgar Allan Poe.
sit by my side, come as close as the air, sharing a memory of gray, and wander in my words, dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Green leaves of summer turn red in the fall, to brown and to yellow they fade, and then they have to die, trapped within the circle time parade of changes. Scenes of my young years were warm in my mind, visions of shadows that shine, till one day I returned and found they were the victims of the vines of changes. The world spinning madly, it drifts in the dark, swings through a hollow of haze, a race around the stars, a journey through the universe ablaze with changes. Moments of magic will glow in the night, all fears of the forest are gone, but when the morning breaks, they're swept away by golden drops of dawn of changes. Passions will part to a strange melody, as fires will sometimes burn cold, like petals in the wind. We're puppets to the silver strings of souls of changes. Your tears will be trembling, now we're somewhere else. One last cup of wine we will pour, and I'll kiss you one more time, and leave you on the rolling river shores of changes. So sit by my side, come as close as the air, sharing a memory of gray, wander in my words, dream about the pictures that I play of changes.
Το Changes που ακούσαμε, όπως και το When I'm Gone που υπάρχουν στο LP Phil Ochs in Concert, είναι από τα πιο σωστραφή τραγούδια του συνθέτη. Το 1962 ο Ochs παντρεύεται την Alice Skinner και έκαναν μαζί μια κόρη, την Megan. Θα χωρίσουν το 1965, αλλά στην ουσία ποτέ δεν χώρισαν. Το 1967 θα φύγει από την Electra και θα πάει με παρότριση του αδερφού του Michael στην A&M Records, Καλιφόρνια, στο Los Angeles. Ηχογραφεί με την εταιρεία 4 studio album, τα Pleasures of the Harbor του 1967, Tape from California του 1968 και Rehearsals του For Entertainment του 1969. Και τελευταίο, το με τον ειρωνικό τίτλο Greatest Hits που κυκλοφόρησε το 1970, το οποίο περιείχε όλο καινούριο υλικό.
There has been a drastic change in American foreign policy in recent months. Take the Dominican Republic, which we did a little... A little while ago, killing a few people here and there, mostly there, saving the day for freedom and democracy in the Western Hemisphere once again, folks. I was over there, entertaining the troops. I won't say which troops. Over there with a USO group, including Walter Lippmann and Soupy Sells. I played there in a small coffee house called The Sniper. And this was my most unpopular song, with the poetic, symbolic title of "The Marines Have Landed on the Shores of Santo Domingo." And the crabs are crazy, they scuttle back and forth, the sand is burning, and the fish take flight and scatter from the side, their course is turning. As the seagulls rest on the cold cannon nest, the sea is churning. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. The fishermen sweat, they're pausing at their nets, the days are burning. As the warships sway and thunder in the bay loud in the morning. But the boy on the shore's throwing pebbles no more, he runs a warning that the Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. The streets are still, there's silence in the hills, the town is sleeping, and the farmers yawn in the gray silver dawn, the fields they're keeping. As the first troops land and step into the sand, the flags are weeping. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. The unsmiling sun is shining down upon the singing soldiers. In the cloud dust world, they whistle at the girls, they're getting bolder. Ah, the old women sigh, think of memories gone by, they shrug their shoulders. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. Ready for the tricks, their bayonets are fixed, now they are rolling. And the tanks make tracks past the trembling shacks where fear's unfolding. All the young wives afraid turn their backs to the parade with babes they're holding. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. A bullet cracks the sound, the army hits the ground, the sniper's calling. So they open up their guns, 1,000 to 1, no sense in stalling. He clutches at his head and totters on the edge, look now he's falling. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. In the red plaza square, the crowds come to stare, the heat is leaning, and the eyes of the dead are turning every head to the widows screaming. But the soldiers make a bid, giving candy to the kids, their teeth are gleaming. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. Up and down the coast, the generals drink a toast, the wheel is spinning, and the cowards and the whores are peeking through the doors to see who's winning. But the traitors will pretend that it's getting near the end when it's beginning. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo. and the crabs are crazy. They scuttle back and forth, the sand is burning, and the fish take flight and scatter from the side, their course is turning. As the seagulls rest on the cold cannon nest, the sea is churning. The Marines have landed on the shores of Santo Domingo.
Το Σάντο Ντομίνγκο μιλάει για την επέμβαση των Αμερικάνων στον Άγιο Δομήνικο και υπάρχει στο δίσκο του Phil in Concert του 1966. Στο Greatest Hits, ο Ochs εμφανίζεται στο εξώφυλλο του δίσκου ντυμένος αλλά Elvis Presley, κρατώντας μια ηλεκτρική κιθάρα και φορώντας ένα λαμέ κουστούμι.
It was on an Indiana farm in the middle of the country, growing in the fields of grain, Jim Dean of Indiana. His mother died when he was a boy. His father was a stranger. Marcus Winslow took him in. Nobody seemed to want him. The hired man sang like a storm. Sometimes he would beat him, 'cause he would never do the chores. He was lost in dreaming. He never seemed to find a place with the flatlands and the farmers, so he had to leave one day, he said, to be an actor. Once he come back to the farm with starlets from the stages. They locked themselves inside his room. The people turned their faces. A neighbor run from the movie house. Chickens there were scattered. He swore he saw upon the screen Jim Dean of Indiana. He played a boy without a home, torn with no tomorrow, reaching out to touch someone, a stranger in the shadow. The Winslows left for the movie town. They drove across the country. They hoped that he would stay around, and they hoped he would be friendly. He talked to them for half an hour, but he was busy racing. He left for the Grapevine Road. They left for Indiana. Then Marcus heard on the radio that a movie star was dying. He turned the tenor way down low, so Hortense could go on sleeping.
The wind was silent through the grain. It was just like they had told him. They buried him just down the road, a mile from the farmhouse. That is where I placed a flower for Jim Dean of Indiana.
Ένα τραγούδι από το δίσκο Greatest Hits είναι και το Jim Dean of Indiana που ακούσαμε. Ο Ochs συμμετέχει στη δημιουργία του Διεθνούς Κόμματος Νεολαίας, γνωστού και ως Γίπης, τα γεγονότα του 1968 στο Σικάγο, η δολοφονία του Μάρτιν Λούθερ Κίνγκ και λίγο αργότερα του Ρόμπερτ Κέννεντι, η εξέγερση της αστυνομίας του Σικάγο, η εκλογή του Νίξον ως πρόεδρο της Αμερικής τον κάνουν να πάθει κατάθλιψη και μεγάλη απογοήτευση με τα τεκτενόμενα. Το εξώφυλλο του άλμπουμ του 1969, Rehearsals for the Entertainment, απεικονίζει μια ταφόπλακα που γράφει Phil Ochs, Αμερικάνος, γεννήθηκε στο El Paso του Τέξας το 1940, πέθανε στο Σικάγο του Ιλινόης το 1968. Στη δίκη των 7 του Σικάγο, μεταξύ των οποίων ήταν και η Άντζελα Ντέιβις, τον Δεκέμβριο του 1969, ο Ochs καταθέτει σαν μάρτυρας της υπεράσπισης απαγγέλλοντας στίχους από το I Ain't Marching Anymore.
Last night he was breathing his last breath. A bottle of gin and a cigarette was all that he had left. I can see you make the music 'cause you carry your guitar, but God help the troubadour who tries to be a star. So play the chords of love, my friend. As they try to take the world, when they find their melody, they're surrounded by the girls. But it all fades so quickly, like a sunny summer's day. Reporters ask you questions, they write down what you say. So play the chords of love, my friend. They will put you up for sale. The more that you will find success, the more that you will fail. I've been around, I've had my share, and I really can't complain. But I wonder who I left behind the other side of pain. So play the chords of love, my friend. Play the chords of song. Don't play the chords of pain.
Το 1974 η A&M Records κυκλοφορεί ένα ζωντανά ηχογραφημένο άλμπουμ από περιοδίους του Ochs μετά το 1970, όπου το συνοδεύει ροκ μπάντα. Το Source of Fame, ένα από τα τραγούδια του δίσκου, το ακούσαμε ήδη. Ο Ochs εμφανίζεται με λαμέ κουστούμι και αρχίζει να εμπερδεύει τους φίλους του και τους θαυμαστές του με τις αλόκοτες εμφανίσεις του και επίσης αρχίζει να καταναλώνει αλκοόλ χωρίς μέτρο. Το 1971 τον Αύγουστο, ο Ochs θα πάει στη Χιλή, όπου ο Σαλβατόρ Αλιέντε, ένας μαρξιστής πολιτικός, είχε εκλεγεί δημοκρατικά στις εκλογές του 1970. Τα γνωρίζει το χιλιανό ποιητή Βίκτορ Γιάρα, που ήταν φίλος και υποστηρικτής του Αλιέντε. Θα τον γνωρίσει ο Γιάρας τον Αλιέντε και θα γίνουν φίλοι. Το Σεπτέμβριο του 1973 η κυβέρνηση του Αλιέντε ανατρέπεται με πραξικόπημα και ο Αλιέντε αυτοκτονεί κατά τη διάρκεια βομβιστικής επίθεσης στο Προεδρικό Μέγαρο. Ο Γιάρα θα συλληφθεί, θα βασανιστεί, θα δολοφονηθεί από το φασιστικό καθεστώς του Πινοσέτ. Ο Ochs διοργανώνει συναυλίες για να συγκεντρώσει χρήματα για το χιλιανό λαό με τον τίτλο A Evening with Salvador Allende, όπου θα εμφανίζονται ο Bob Dylan, ο Pete Singer, ο Al Rogathy, ο Dave Van Ronk και άλλοι ακτιβιστές καλλιτέχνες.
Silent soldiers on a silver screen, framed in fantasies and drugged in dreams, unpaid actors of the mystery. The mad director knows that freedom will not make you free. And what's this got to do with me? I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. Drums are drizzling on a grain of sand, fading rhythms of a fading land. Prove your courage in the proud parade. Trust your leaders where mistakes are almost never made, and they're afraid that I'm afraid. I'm afraid the war is over. It's over. It's over. Angry artists painting angry signs use their vision just to blind the blind. Poison players of a grisly game. One is guilty and the other gets to point the blame. Pardon me if I refrain. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. So do your duty, boys, and join with pride. Serve your country in her suicide. Find a flag so you can wave goodbye. But just before the end, even treason might be worth a try. This country is too young to die. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. One-legged veterans will greet the dawn, and their whistling marches as they mow the lawn, and the gargoyles only sit and grieve. The gypsy fortune teller told me that we've been deceived. You only are what you believe. And I believe the war is over. It's over.
Στις 30 Απριλίου του 1975 ο πόλεμος στο Βιετνάμ τελειώνει. Στο Center Park στις 11 Μάη γίνεται μια τεράστια συναυλία για να γιορταστεί το τέλος του πολέμου. Εμφανίζονται η Οντέτα, ο Πιτ Σίγκερ, ο Πολ Σάιμον, η Τζοάν Μπαέζ, ο Φιλ Ochs και άλλοι. Εκεί ο Ochs τραγουδάει το The War is Over που ακούσαμε και μαζί με τον Τζοάν Μπαέζ το The There But for Fortune.
They've lived the tales to carry to the shore, screening at the oars or staring from the rail. And the sea bids farewell, she waves and swells and sends them on their way. Time has been her pay, and time will have to tell. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. And the anchor hits the sand. The hungry hands have tied them to the port. The hour will be short for leisure on the land. And the girls scent the air, they seem so fair with pain upon their face, soft as their embrace to lead them up the stairs. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. In the room, dark and dim, touch of skin, he asks her of her name. She answers with no shame and not a sense of sin, till the fingers draw the blind sip of wine, the cigarette of doubt. The candle is blown out, the darkness is so kind. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. And the shadows frame the light. Same old sight, thrill has flown away. All alone they lay, two strangers in the night. Till his heart skips a beat, he's on his feet, to shipmates he must join. She's counting up the coins, he's swallowed by the street. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. whiskey's loud, there's laughter in their eyes. The lonely in the sky are clinging to the crowd, and the bottle fills the glass. The haze is fast, he's trembling for the taste of passion gone to waste in memories of the past. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. In the alley, red with rain, cry of pain, for love was but a smile, teasing all the while, now dancing down the drain. Till the boys reach the dock, they gently mount and lift him on their backs, lay him on his rack, and leave beneath the light. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. And ships as the sand, they've lived the tale they carry from shore, straining at the oars or staring from dread. And sea bids farewell, she weighs and swells and sends them on their way. Time's been her pain, and time will have to tell. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor.
Μετά το θάνατό του θα κυκλοφορήσουν τα LP Sings for Board Side με επιλογή επιτυχιών του το 1976 από την Folkways Record και ακόμα το Board Side Balance Volume 2 του 1976 και το The Board Side Tapes 1 με νέες ηχογραφίες το 1980. Το Pleasures of the Harbor που ακούσαμε υπάρχει στο Sings for Board Side και στο Ballad of Alfred Parker και το Ballad of Alfred Parker στο Phil Ochs 2 που το ακούμε αμέσως.
This is the Ballad of Alfred Packer, an infamous guide in the Old West. In the state of Colorado in the year of 74, they crossed the San Juan Mountains, gold hungry to the core. Their guide was Alfred Packer, they trusted him too long, for his character was weak and his appetite was strong. They called him a murderer, cannibal and thief. It just doesn't pay to eat anything but government-inspected beef. Along the Gunnison River, an Indian camp they spied. An Indian chief approached them, to stop them he did try. He warned them of the danger and the snow that lay around. But the danger was in Packer, for his hunger knew no bound. Yes, they called him a murderer, cannibal and thief. It just doesn't pay to eat anything but government-inspected beef. 2 cold months went slowly by, Packer came back alone. My comrades, they all froze to death, I'm starving, he did moan. The Indian chief knew how he lied, he spat upon the ground. For his belly hung out all over his belt, he'd gained some 30 pounds. They called him a murderer, cannibal, a thief. It just doesn't pay to eat anything but government-inspected beef. Well, for 9 long years he ran away, but finally he was tried. He claimed he didn't kill them, he only ate their hides. That county had 6 Democrats until he did arrive. Well, only one lives on today, he ate the other 5. For 18 years he stayed in jail, it was a dreadful fate. For he suffered indigestion every time he ate. Still it's hard to blame this hungry guy who went searching for the mines. For when he ate his friends, he'd never heard of Duncan Hines. For when he ate his friends, he'd never heard of Duncan Hines.
Αυτό το τραγούδι πρωτοικογραφήθηκε το 1963 για ένα demo που θα κυκλοφορήσει το 2010 σε CD με τίτλο On My Way και θα περιλαμβάνει 25 καινούργια τραγούδια του Φιλ. Η κληρονομιά που άφησε ο Φιλ και αναγνωρίστηκε μετά το θάνατό του τεράστια. Ακόμα οι Αμερικάνοι ανακαλύπτουν τραγούδια του. Ο Ochs συνεχίζει 50 χρόνια μετά το θάνατό του να επηρεάζει και να εμπνέει τραγουδιστές και θαυμαστές, οι οποίοι δεν τον είδαν ποτέ να παίζει ζωντανά. Υπάρχουν λίστες αλληλογραφίες και διαδικτυακές ομάδες για συζητήσεις αφιερωμένες στον Ochs, τη μουσική και τους στίχους του.
Many's the hour I've lain by my window and thought of the people who've carried the burdens, who marched into strange fields in search of an answer and ended their journeys an unwilling hero. So here's a song to those who are gone with never a reason why, and a toast of the wine at the end of the line, and a toll of the bell for the next one to die. Back in the coal fields of old Harlan County, some talked of a union, some talked of good wages, and they lined them up in the dark of the forest and shot them down without asking no questions. So here's a song to those who are gone with never a reason why, and a toast of the wine at the end of the line, and a toll of the bell for the next one to die. And over the ocean to the red Spanish soil came the Lincoln Brigade with their dreams of a victory. But they fell in the fire of Germany's bombings, and they fell 'cause nobody would hear their sad warning. So here's a song to those who are gone with never a reason why, and a toast of the wine at the end of the line, and a toll of the bell for the next one to die. In old Alabama, in old Mississippi, 2 states of the Union so often found guilty. They came on the buses, they came on the marches, and they lay in the jails, or they fell by the highway. So here's a song to those who are gone with never a reason why, and a toast of the wine at the end of the line, and a toll of the bell for the next one to die. This state it was Texas, the town it was Dallas. In the flash of a rifle, life was soon over, and nobody thought of the past 1,000,000 murders, and the long list of irony had found a new champion. So here's a song to those who are gone with never a reason why, and a toast of the wine at the end of the line, and a toll of the bell for the next one to die.
Από το ομώνυμο LP, CD και κασέτα που κυκλοφορεί η Electra το 1986 σε παραγωγή του Ochs και του Sean Penn, που είναι φανατικός θαυμαστής του Ochs, είναι και το A Toast to Those Who Are Gone σε μουσική και στίχους και ερμηνεία του Ochs. Ως το 2020 θα εκδίδονται CD του Ochs με καινούργια τραγούδια, live από συναυλίες, επανεκδόσεις άλμπουμ και συλλογές με παλιές ηχογραφήσεις. Οι περιοχές του πάρα πολλές και οι διασκευές του τραγουδιών του αμέτρητες. Θα χρειαζόταν ίσως άλλες 2 εκπομπές για να τις παρουσιάσουμε.
Midnight in the village, see the lights of candles from bitter end to gaslight. Bias leaves the stage. Ochs takes notes when the blacker and guitar burn together hot in rage. You've got what it takes. You say too much. Oh, you will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe. I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation. I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. Kennedy would kill for the lines that you've written. Van Ronk says to Bobby, she's the next real thing. Crowds in the hell flight, screaming like a banshee. You're in the boat, babe, we're in the water. You say too much. Oh, you will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe, I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation, I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. You will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. Oh, I can work the scene, babe, I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation, I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. You will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe, I can see the magazines. Oh, I can hear the nation, I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe, you will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire.
Το Set the World on Fire είναι ένα τραγούδι του David Bowie που αναφέρεται στον Phil Ochs. Είναι από το CD του The Next Day του 2013. Τραγούδι του Ochs έχουν διασκευάσει από την Joan Baez, τον Morrissey, τον Pete Seeger, μέχρι ο Τζέλο Μπιάφρα και ο Μότζο Νίξον. Ακόμα και ο δικός μας Δημήτρης Παναγόπουλος του έχει αφιερώσει το Ασταθής Ισορροπία του 1987 στη μνήμη του.
Who's that coming down the road? The sailor from the sea. He looks a lot like me. I'd know him anywhere. Had to stare. Feathers on his fingertips, a halo around lost his mind. He should be put away, right away. In the corner of the night, he handed me his water pipe. His eyes were searching deep inside my head. Here's what he said: sorry, I can't stop and talk now. I'm in kind of a hurry anyhow, but I'll send you a tape from California. New York City has exploded and it's crashed upon my head. I dove beneath the bed, fighting nails, turning pale. The landlord's at my window and the burglar's at my door. I can't take it anymore. I guess I'll have to fly. It's worth a try. Someone's banging on the wall, but there's no party to recall. Singer of the shadows of his soul. So he's been told. Sorry, I can't stop and talk now. I'm in kind of a hurry anyhow, but I'll send you a tape from California. From the mirror of my mantle to the velvet on my bed, trapped upon a stolen stage, a Barrymore at bed. My rhymes are all repeating, my ballads are growing blind. Words have turned to water, the women turn to wine. The draft board is debating if they'd like to take my life. I'd sooner take a wife and raise a child or two, wouldn't you? These has turned to poison and the flag has blown a fuse. Even courage is confused and now all the brave are in the grave. Century is bending, have a very happy ending. To the victor go the ashes of the spoil, the seeds in the soil. Sorry, I can't stop and talk now. I'm in kind of a hurry anyhow, but I'll send you a tape from California. The flower power fuller brushman's farming out his friend. I stabbed him with my stem and then I tapped his toes with my rose. He crawled around inside himself, now he's crawling after me, dropping acid in my tea. He wants to save my soul, rock and roll. One of us must understand, it's not the drug that makes the man. Then a poster of a movie star walked by. He must have been high. Sorry, I can't stop and talk now. I'm in kind of a hurry anyhow, but I'll send you a tape from California. Half the world is crazy and the other half is scared. Madonnas do the minuet for naked millionaires. The anarchists are rising while we're racing for the moon. It doesn't take a seer to see the scene is
Ήταν ο Γιάννης Κώτσης που από τη φιλόξενη συχνότητα του Αμβρακή 919 FM Stereo σας παρουσίασε μια εκπομπή για τον Αμερικάνο φίλο, τον Phil Ochs. Τεχνική, Επιμέλεια και όλα τα υπόλοιπα ήταν ο Κώστας Κώτσης. Θα τα ξαναπούμε. Γεια χαρά.
Blue forest faded and forgotten, I crawled through the cotton fields picking for cotton. The overseer sneered, his whipping was rotten with ecstasy. In childlike terror I tore at the taproots, cards of the lash were calling to follow suit. I dashed for the swamps, the hounds in hot pursuit. Jealously, all through the night, a figure of fright as I hid my head. And they buried their nose in a cut of my clothes, now torn in shreds. And they never would leave till they believed that I was dead. But I'd never curse their names. Oh, who am I to blame? I know I'd do the same endlessly. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Frail and afraid in the mists of the morning, the snakes and the spiders were sadly performing. The bark of the dogs kept up the warning inside the wood. Sweating and swearing I crawled from the manger. The highway appeared to take me from danger. Is there anyone here who would pick up a stranger? Oh, I wish you could. Then someone replied, would you like a ride? Come in, he said. We drove for a while. He gave me a smile and a piece of bread. The hammer was hard in the chrome of the car as I cracked his head. Then we took off in a spin. Whoa, I smashed his skull again. Whoa, thank you, my good friend. I feel so good. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Late in the evening, I came to the city. I fell to the sidewalk, sighing for pity. A diamond was dropped from the hands of the pretty to be so kind. Cowards and corpses were busy competing. The rhymes of the riots were busy repeating. I raced to the corner and sped from the speeding to save my mind. Latches and locks, companies of cops ran from the rain. There was silk in the stores for the whims of the whores that shone with shame. I asked for a light from a priest in the night, then I fanned the flames. And the traffic all stood still, see if someone had been killed. I was glad to leave a thrill so far behind.
ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. A monk and his mother were dancing so dandy. The topless nun was handing out candy. The beautiful bishop broke out the brandy, the kiss we crave. They stuttered and stammered, would I feel like staying? We fell to our knees, feverishly praying. The salt in the saltpeter seemed to be saying, be brave, be brave. I reached for a robe, I preached and I probed and I taught the tomb. And the greed for the guilt was played to the hilt as I promised doom. I toyed with their fears till coins and tears filled the room. Then I took off down the road, laughing madly like a toad. God bless every soul of soul that would be saved. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. A chorus of children were passing the hours. I joined in their fun and gave them my flowers, covered with kisses and showered with showers that they repaid. Taking and trusting, would I be their teacher? She looked so appealing, I wanted to touch her, just out of reach, unable to reach her. Their hands were raised, charmed by the chalk. The lessons were taught inside the class. They studied the rules of the samurai schools they had to pass. The room was adjourned, the lessons were learned. I turned on the gas and I watched them make their pleas. They passed the test with ease. I gave them their degrees, they made the grade. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Feeling my weakness, a coward for company, I joined the ranks of the hot and the hungry, to teach what it means to have love for your country. We marched away. We lowered our lives for the lines of a border. We danced with the mothers, played with the daughters. We followed our fantasies, following order. It was child's play. After the war, the bullets were bored, so we kept the game. With cynical smiles, we put them on trial to place the blame. Now what kind of beast would love such a feast? Have you no shame? So we hung them by the feet. Whoa, we shot them in the street. Whoa, the victory was sweet on Victory Day. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome,
do as the Romans do. The bread and the circuses came to be nearing. The Savior or somebody must be appearing. Pagans and pageants were all disappearing inside my head. The stones on the statues were staring and stalling. Caesar and Cassius were cursing and calling. The empire had risen and now it was falling, or so it seemed. The crown and the cross seemed empty and lost in dark despair, and luminous lies and death in disguise were everywhere. The canvas was cold, the story was old. I said my prayer, then I crowned him on the head. Whoa, I blessed him as he bled. Whoa, at last the king is dead. God save the queen. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Now nothing remains for building or burning. The losing of lovers was all I was learning. A time to escape and a time for returning had come to me. Back through the ashes and back through the embers, back through the roads and the ruins I remembered. My hands at my side, I sadly surrender. Do as you please. The hero was home, proven and grown. I fell on the floor. Mad with romance, they started to dance. Their star was born. I bled like the rain, exploded in pain. Then I screamed for more. Whoa, make me feel so blind. Release me from my mind. Whoa, kill me one more time and set me free. And all the high-born ladies, so lovely and so true, have been handed to the soldiers. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Ήταν ο Γιάννης Κώτσης που από τη φιλόξενη συχνότητα του Αμβρακή 919 FM στέρεο σας παρουσίασε μια εκπομπή για τον Αμερικάνο φίλο, τον Phil Ochs. Τεχνική, επιμέλεια και όλα τα υπόλοιπα ήταν ο Κώστας Κώτσης. Θα τα ξαναπούμε. Γεια χαρά.